Green card holders, listen up. Big changes just hit the books in July 2025, and if you don't know what's changed, you could miss out on new benefits or even risk your legal status. This is not a drill. In July 2025, the US government officially signed a sweeping new immigration law, and yes, green card holders like you are directly affected. Whether you've held permanent residency for years or just received your card, this law reshapes several key areas: eligibility for naturalization, timelines for family sponsorship, employment rules, and even travel and re-entry rights. It's the biggest update in over a decade, and yet, many residents still haven't heard the details. Here's the reality. This law includes faster citizenship pathways for some, but also stricter conditions for maintaining your residency status. There are new background check policies, changes to public benefit access, and revised interview exemptions that could help or hurt your process, depending on how informed you are. And that's not all. Some employment-based green card holders may now see faster processing, while others may face new documentation requirements. Family-based petitioners? You're going to want to know about the updated waitlist structure, especially if you're planning to bring a spouse or child to the US. I've gone through the full legal text, cross-checked the updates with current USCIS guidelines, and I've broken it all down in simple, clear language, no legal jargon, no confusing forms, just the facts you actually need to protect your status and plan your next move. So if you're a green card holder and want to stay ahead of the curve, hit that like button right now, and let's dive into what this law really means for you and your future in the US. All right, so let's break this down together, one step at a time. I know how overwhelming immigration updates can feel. The laws change, the rules shift, and suddenly you're left wondering, does this affect me? Am I at risk? Am I missing out on something important? If you're a green card holder, you've worked hard for your permanent residency. Maybe it took years of waiting, thousands of dollars in legal fees, and more patience than you ever thought you had. So, when a law like this gets passed, you absolutely deserve to know how it affects your future in this country, the country you've started to call home. Now, let's talk about the July 2025 immigration law that just got signed. This is being called one of the most comprehensive immigration reforms in over a decade. And here's the kicker. While a lot of the headlines have been focused on asylum seekers and undocumented migrants, there's actually a massive section in this new law that directly targets legal permanent residents, yes, you with the green card, and it has both upsides and new responsibilities. So let's start with the positive. One of the most talked about changes is the acceleration of the naturalization timeline for certain categories of green card holders. If you've been waiting patiently to apply for US citizenship, this new law could cut your wait time by as much as 12 months, depending on your employment category or family ties. That's a whole year earlier you might be able to take the oath and finally hold that blue passport in your hand. For many of you, especially those who've been putting off the N400 application because of cost or uncertainty, this might be the push you've been waiting for. But, and this is important, the law isn't just about speeding things up. It also introduces new residency maintenance conditions. Specifically, if you're a green card holder who travels abroad frequently, maybe to visit family or manage business overseas, you need to pay attention. There's now a revised framework for continuous residency. Under the new law, you may be flagged if you're spending more than 180 days outside the US in a 12-month period, even if you return within 6 months at a time. This means more scrutiny, more documentation, and potentially more questions at the border. So if you're someone who regularly splits time between two countries, it's time to rethink your travel habits or risk putting your status in jeopardy. And speaking of scrutiny, let's talk about background checks. The law introduces a multi-agency integration system that allows USCIS, the IRS, and even certain state databases to share information more freely. Now, I know that sounds scary, but here's what it really means. If you've had any legal issues, even minor ones like unpaid taxes or unresolved citations, it's going to be harder to hide those things when applying for citizenship or renewing your green card. That doesn't mean you're automatically disqualified, but it does mean that full transparency and proactive steps are more important than ever. If you know there's something in your past that could raise a red flag, now is the time to speak to an immigration attorney, not when you're already at your interview. Now, another huge update you should know about, especially for those of you with family abroad, is the restructuring of the family-based sponsorship queue. Under this new law, spouses and minor children of permanent residents are now being moved into a fast-track category, similar to how immediate relatives of U.S. citizens are handled. What does that mean? It means shorter wait times, fewer bureaucratic delays, and potentially getting your loved ones here faster. That's a big win, especially for families who've been stuck in long wait lists, sometimes for years. But, and there's always a but, this new priority system also tightens eligibility definitions. For example, the term child now requires more detailed proof of dependency and biological relationship. If you're sponsoring a stepchild or adopted child, make sure your paperwork is airtight. These are not the kinds of details you want questioned midway through the process. Let's also touch on employment-based green card holders. A lot of you came here under EB2 or EB3 categories, maybe through a tech job, a hospital, or academic institution. Under the new law, employment verification requirements have been updated. You'll now be required to submit annual proof of continued employment in your field, especially if your green card is less than 5 years old. USCIS is aiming to crack down on fraud and prevent people from getting residency under one job and then switching to another unrelated industry. So if you've made a major career change recently, let's say from engineering to real estate, you might need to provide a written explanation or supporting documents during your next status renewal. On the flip side, there's some really encouraging news here too. Certain categories of essential workers, like healthcare professionals, educators, and those in skilled trades, are getting priority protections under this law. That means more visa slots, faster processing, and fewer RFEs requests for evidence. If you're in one of these fields, this law might actually make your journey to citizenship smoother than ever. And let's not forget the green card renewal process itself. The new law digitizes a huge part of the system, meaning, beginning in late 2025, all renewal applications must be submitted through the new USCIS Digital Access Portal. This might sound like a small change, but for many of you, especially those who aren't comfortable with online systems, it's going to be a big shift. Start getting familiar with your online USCIS account and keep your email and phone number updated. This portal will also allow real-time status tracking and quicker communication with immigration officers, which could be a game changer for so many people who feel like they're left in the dark during their application process. So now that we've walked through all of this, I want you to take a deep breath. Yes, there's a lot of change, and yes, it might feel intimidating, but knowledge is power. The fact that you're watching this video already puts you ahead of the curve. You care about your future. You're taking action, and that matters. I know some of this might be raising more questions for you, and that's a good thing, because this video is just the beginning. Over the next few weeks, I'll be releasing dedicated deep dive videos on each section of the new law, including how to speed up your citizenship application, how to protect your residency while traveling, and how to safely sponsor your family under the new system. So if you haven't already, seriously, make sure you hit that like button to support this video and subscribe with the bell on, because these updates are coming fast, and you do not want to miss what's next. And before you go, leave me a comment below. Let me know where you are in your immigration journey. Are you planning to apply for citizenship soon? Waiting to bring your spouse? Worried about a legal issue in your past? I read every single comment, and I want this channel to be a place where green card holders can find answers, share stories, and feel heard. You've come this far. Don't let confusion or fear slow you down now. You deserve to live confidently and securely in the country you've chosen to call home. So stay informed, stay connected, and above all, stay hopeful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.